This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. I am within 1,500 subscribers of 500,000. This might be one of the last times you have to hear me ask to please subscribe if you haven't, to help me get to 500,000 subscribers. I'll leave it at that. Let's talk about the story with Fani Willis. The Georgia Supreme Court has summarily rejected Donald Trump's request to have this probe scuttled. That's the headline. The lead that's kind of buried with this story is that this lays bare Donald Trump's thought that he is above the law, that he's different than you or than me, that he has access to a special type of representation, and the rules that apply to the rest of us relative to a case working its way through the courts do not apply to him. He's too important. He's too special. He doesn't have to go through the loops of justice. And even the Georgia Supreme Court thinks that is the case. They think he thinks it. No, they don't believe that he is. Here's the headline from the Washington Post. Georgia Supreme Court rejects Trump petition to block election probe. The unanimous opinion from the conservative Supreme Court in Georgia says Trump had not proved the extraordinary circumstances that warranted intervention by Georgia's top court. The Georgia Supreme Court unanimously dismissed former, ex-President Donald Trump's petition to block an Atlanta area district attorney from investigating him over allegations of 2020 election interference and to throw out evidence gathered by a special purpose grand jury in the case. You see, here's what's happening. A special grand jury, the previous grand jury, didn't have the power under Georgia law to bring indictments. They were just there kind of as a fact-finding mission to compile a report. And Donald Trump now didn't protest a whole bunch about that other than verbally, rhetorically, saying it was a witch hunt. There wasn't a lot of cases before the court to get them to stop doing what they were doing, because there was no chance of indictment. But now that they've compiled a report and the next grand jury, the actual grand jury, is going to use that report as evidence to make their determination about indictments, now he's running scared. Now they're bringing cases to try to get that to stop. And that leads us to where we are right now. Trump's attorneys had asked Georgia's top court late Thursday to disqualify Fulton County District Attorney Fani T. Willis and her office from further probing whether Trump and his allies broke the law when they sought to overturn Trump's 2020 election loss in the state. The Trump motion also sought to quash the final report of the special grand jury. It asked the Supreme Court to, quote, stay all proceedings related to and flowing from the special purpose grand jury's investigation, a request made just weeks before Willis is expected to announce a charging decision in the high-profile case. Now, on to the other aspect of this, which is Donald Trump's believing he doesn't have to abide by the system of jurisprudence that the rest of us do. He can have access directly to the highest court in the land or in the state of Georgia, and that court doesn't believe that's the case. But in an opinion published late Monday, the 9-member Supreme Court dismissed the petition, writing that Trump had not proved the quote-unquote extraordinary circumstances that would warrant an intervention by the state's top court. The decision said that the petition lacked proof that his constitutional rights had been violated, that, quote, the facts or the law necessary to remove Willis from the case exist, and that other courts had rejected his claims. And then on to Donald Trump feeling he is superior to the rest of us. In its opinion, the Georgia Supreme Court appeared critical of the Trump team's decision to take its case directly to the state's top court instead of first arguing the case before a lower court judge. Quote, a petitioner cannot invoke this court's original jurisdiction as a way to circumvent the ordinary channels for obtaining the relief he seeks without making some showing that he is being prevented fair access to these extraordinary channels, the opinion reads. These facts exist. This case absolutely has merit to move forward. This should have Donald Trump and his legal team quaking in their anti-democratic boots. The other aspect is that he's disrespecting the system of judges and cases in the state of Georgia by thinking he's too important to have to go like the rest of us, the unwashed masses, and go through the system. All of this is good news because if by some fluke the federal cases fail, it will be left to individuals like Fani Willis in Fulton County, Georgia, Alvin Bragg in Manhattan, to actually hold Donald Trump accountable. These cases, this one as well as the one in New York, are out of the reach of a presidential pardon. They are in the federal system. These state cases are going to be a backup in the case that something goes horribly wrong with the others. I don't see that happening. I think the chances of that are very, very slim. But it just goes to show the width and the breadth of the conspiracy to end democracy in the United States, and the panoply of characters, the circus-like atmosphere of idiots who surround Donald Trump and are trying to build a clout and a reputation and a name for themselves in the most ridiculous and sinister way possible. Anyway, good news. And we will soon see. This will probably follow the federal indictments from Jack Smith that I previously talked about in the video before this. But it's all good news. I'd love to know what you think. You can leave a comment below. That's the best way to kind of game the algorithm, help me out, have my channel introduced to new viewers. Thank you for that. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, comment, share, all the stuff. If after that you still want to help produce my work, click the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month, click the super thanks button below, or go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. And after all of that, if you're still not tired of my stupid face and my stupid voice, follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere there's social media. Threads now, there's a new one. I'm at Dollemore. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. And I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another.